How come when you're given something for free, it's exciting, it's fun, but when you get something for free, it's frowned upon? When I was younger, say about 10 years old, I would go with my babysitter to a store called the Salvation Army. When we got there, I would take a seat in the waiting area. She would go to the counter, hand the cashier a blue small ticket, almost like a fair, a county fair ticket. In exchange for that ticket, my babysitter would get a huge box. That box had cereal, sugar, bread, sometimes even milk. I want to say there was also milk in that big box. I miss that babysitter. She was my favorite. She's one of those babysitters where they're pretty much like your mom. Sometimes I wish that we can just all die together so that I don't have to feel so sad that she's not physically here. Anyway, when my babysitter would come back to me in the waiting room, she would show me all the goodies she got. I would be so excited, like, oh my gosh, all of this was free? As I grew up, I realized that the Salvation Army helps families who need a little bit of help. It's not necessarily free because donations, taxes, like the resources to get that box of food had to come from somewhere at a point where actual money was involved. Getting things for free in that sense looks bad. It's frowned upon. But why is it that when something is given to me for free, say at a restaurant, I get a free meal? For whatever reason, I get a free meal. Why is that something to boast about? How come when I get home that day, I tell my mom, Mom, guess what? I got a free meal at the restaurant I went to. What's the difference? What does free versus free mean? They're both free. Is it because the free that I get, I really need it? I didn't work for it? Is the free getting a meal from the restaurant, does that look good because I had the intent to pay anyway? Is it a class level that if you go to a place like the Salvation Army, does that make your class look lower compared to the ones who, they don't need Salvation Army, they can afford their own food? Is there a level of what that free means? Sometimes, most times, the rules of this world or the rules of the society I grew up in is so strange. How it's almost embarrassing to have to go to those food locations to get food, to get free food. I'm pretty sure someone along the way in my growth made that assumption towards me that people who get free food at Salvation Army, they're lower than you. People who are given free food, they're higher than you. See, what's the difference? You're both getting something for free. I've thought about this question for about 2 or 3 days now. I want to say 3 days. 3 days. I still don't have an answer. I'm banking on it that it's a class and status thing. But where does that come from? Everybody needs food. Does it matter how they get the food? If anything, for me, seeing that blue little ticket that my babysitter gave to the cashier at Salvation Army, it made me realize that money isn't real. That's the first instance where I saw a transaction that didn't require physical green money. That made me question. That's a lot of that's that's why I started questioning everything. I had the perception that in order for me to get anything, especially food, I need money. But that that blue ticket changed everything for me. Money is played. This is all a game. That's what I've learned from that there's different ways to survive in this world. The way that you survive may be frowned upon to others, but then you won't get frowned upon if you survive the way of society. It's so strange. Like, do you ever question that? Has that ever come up to you in your brain out of nowhere, driving down the road? Then this question of what's free versus free mean? Why do they have different connotations? But in the dictionary, free means free. These are the thoughts I think about. Careful with the seeds. Bye.